السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. مهندسو قوافل الحرية لكسر الحصار عن غزة عازمون ومصممون على الإبحار في وجه الرياح الإسرائيلية العاتية، لكن الوصول إلى غزة دونه عقبات وتحديات. مع المهندس اليوناني بيسياس فانجيليس وقوافل الحرية وتداعيات القضية الفلسطينية على أوروبا والمشاكل اليونانية من الداخل. معكم زينب الصفار، تابعونا. من دون كلل أو ملل يتابع منظمو الحملة العالمية لكسر الحصار عن غزة إعداد سفنهم ومراكبهم والشخصيات المشاركة والإبحار باتجاه قبلتهم التي كرسوها منذ عام 2007 تاريخ فرض الحصار على غزة. منذ ذاك جرى تجهيز اسطول الحرية الأول الذي انطلق في 29 من أيار مايو عام 2010 باتجاه القطاع، محملا ب10,000 طن من التجهيزات والمساعدات والمئات من الناشطين. 8 سفن شقت البحر من أكثر من دولة شرق أوسطية وعربية وأوروبية، إلا أن سفينتين من الأسطول تعطلتا لأسباب فنية. وفي فجر يوم 31 من أيار مايو بعد 4:00 فجراً بدأ الهجوم على سفن أسطول الحرية في المياه الدولية الذي شنته قوات الاحتلال الإسرائيلية، حيث قتلت 9 أشخاص وأصيب العشرات من المتضامنين في أحداث وصفتها مصادر عديدة بالمجزرة وبالجريمة وبإرهاب الدولة. وقد نفذت الهجوم على الأسطول مروحيات إسرائيلية خاصة واستخدمت القنابل الصوتية وانهالت على المركب بالرصاص الحي، وخصوصا على غرفة البث، ما مكن جنود الاحتلال من أن يستولوا على السفينة. كل تلك الأحداث الأليمة والدموية وكل وحشية المحتل لم تضعف عزيمة الأحرار المصممين على كسر الحصار الظالم بحق الشعب الفلسطيني في غزة، إذ بعد هذا الأسطول الأول نظم أسطول الحرية 2 عام 2011 وأسطول الحرية 3 عام 2015، والاستعدادات مستمرة. من اليونان، البلد الذي تبنى برلمانه أخيراً بالإجماع قراراً يدعو الحكومة إلى الاعتراف بدولة فلسطين، المهندس والأستاذ الجامعي بيسياس فانجيليس أحد مهندسي قوافل الحرية باتجاه غزة يخبرنا أكثر عن الأسطول الثالث وما أبرز الضغوط التي واجهوها في الوصول إلى القطاع، ولماذا لم يحظى هذا الحدث بتغطية إعلامية واسعة النطاق وكافية، ويعطينا لمحة سريعة عن وضع اليونان اليوم في الاتحاد الأوروبي. Mr. Beitsias Vangelis, Greek architect of the Freedom Flotilla or the Gaza Flotilla, welcome to the Inside, sir.
Thank you very much. I am one among others.
You're one
very
among the
brave
others.
Guys.
Yes. But you are one of the prime organizers,
yes,
sir.
Yes,
of course. Now, Dr. Vangelis, as one of the prime organizers of the Freedom Flotilla in June 2015, what can you tell us about this flotilla this year, and what type of boats, what type of things have those boats carried to the people in Gaza, who were on board, and what were your ultimate aims through this?
Yes, this is our last mission.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be the last anyway.
No. It's the 13th mission, mm-hmm. but the 14th is already planned, mm-hmm. As well as the 15th and the 17th. Mm-hmm. About the 16th, we have some questions.
Yes.
So we have our plan, not
yes.
only the other side, not only the Israelis, they think they have their plans. We have our plans from our side.
Yes.
This time, it wasn't to carry with us whatever is needed in Gaza, because there were small boats. Mm-hmm. But it was to challenge again, mm-hmm. Israel.
Blockade of Gaza.
Yes. It's humanitarian, of course, always, mm-hmm. because they have we have to break the siege in order to be able to provide the people of Gaza with water, food, whatever. Mm-hmm. This kind of siege is unacceptable. It has to be an end on that. But also is political. We want to show that the Israelis although they were saying years and years, they were oppressed, they were persecuted. They've been put in concentration camps, the Nazis or whatever. What they do now, exactly the same. They persecute, they oppress, they occupy, and
they turn Gaza into a concentration
yes,
camp.
Gaza is a concentration camp. This is to say that Israel becomes more and more delegitimized. And this is our aim, because if they don't understand, in another way, if they don't understand the language of human rights, of justice, of dignity, so they have to be under pressure. And we think that more and more in Europe, the public opinion is changing. Also in the United States, a friend of me, Paul Larudi, I met him, I was very happy to meet him. He is also among the pioneers of from 2008. We worked together. He told me that in the United States now at least 30% of the population is against Israel, not in general, but because they are oppressing the Palestinians.
Right.
This was the question, and that was the answer from the people in the United States. Not for other reasons. For other reasons, maybe some of them, they don't like Israel for one reason. They are rich, they are, they have the tools of the economy. Yes, these are other people, but concerning the Palestinian issue, that means that there is a maturity now. And the people all over the world.
Yes, much more intensive, deep awareness of what the Israelis are really doing to the Palestinians. Who were on board the flotilla this year?
There were less activists and more personalities, VIPs.
Okay.
Yes, among them I could say the name of Dr. Gattash, who is member of the Knesset parliament. He is Palestinian. It was Mr.
They were so infuriated by him coming on board your boats.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope that in the future there will be others also.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And Mr. Marzouki, also ex-president
of
Tunisia.
Yes.
He was also on board. And some others that they couldn't reach the territorial waters.
Yes.
Because we sent, the plan was
How many
5 boats. It was 5 boats, the plan. We've had a problem with the 5th boat, a delay.
Which you were on board?
Yes, unfortunately.
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 Yes.
Yes.
What you said that in one of your interviews that it was done on purpose.
No, this is not the. Some people they said that, but this is not our position. Our position is that
and this is the
concerning our boat. Our boat. There was also another 6th boat.
Yes.
The 6th boat had a problem. It was a technical problem. Our boat was also a technical problem, but a very small one. When the boat was obliged to spend 1.5 days in a port, then the bureaucracy and the networks, the Israeli networks, they jumped, and they have an influence on some people working in the administration, and they started delaying us with, asking for some papers and documents, etc. The issue is that at that time, for Greece, it was a very critical moment. It was the days the government should decide on the referendum, and that was 2-3 days before the referendum. So everybody in Greece was focusing on the internal issue. We have friends, I have to say it. My opinion concerning my government, I don't hide it. I criticize my government. I expect more. And now I expect much more, and I think that they did less than they promised they will do concerning Palestine. But this is something else. We know that they are under a huge pressure, and we don't expect also miracles. They blackmail them, they do from United States, from Europe, from Israel. So it's difficult.
How active is the Israel lobby in Greece?
How? Yes. Maybe 5 years ago, the lobby was very weak. Unfortunately, from 2010, some new concerns. Some people they are driving the foreign policy. They started to rapprochement with Israel. You know, the geopolitics in our area are very complicated.
True. Allow me to go back to the challenges and the obstacles that you faced on this flotilla.
Yes.
Can you please tell us about that more?
You
were talking about the boats.
So the people that they were under influence from these networks, that they start to become a little bit stronger in Greece. The lobby is very strong in France. We know that. It's very strong in the United States. It wasn't strong in Greece. Now they are gaining points. They are step by step. They try to hijack also our foreign policy.
Right.
We have to resist on that.
Sure.
It will not be easy because they are always backed by United States, Europe, and other countries.
What about the media coverage? There hasn't been enough wide media coverage of the flotilla.
In Greece, first. In Greece, it was not possible because, as I said before, it was a very critical moment for our internal
domestic affairs.
Domestic affairs. But I think also that it's not that we did mistakes. Maybe we did mistakes also. It's not easy, and this is something that I would to say to you also, because we would like next time to conclude with you earlier and on board, at least on our boat, to be with us.
Right. It's an honor.
Yes, for us also, because we know that you are working hard to keep a balance in the area, and also you are working for the peace, because these are other issues.
For the Palestinian issue.
Yes, and for the Palestinian issue and in general.
Right.
In general. So some of the journalists, they came, but they didn't understood that there will be delays, maybe. Because of the weather, because of technical issues, because so if they are coming and they think that in 5 days, 6 days, the mission will be accomplished, it's not possible. They have to spend more time. This has to be said clearly from before. It wasn't the case. And there were some misunderstandings, and that created a certain weakness. But as I said today to our friends here, we have to solve also some communication problems, because the Israelis, they create a sort of, they isolate us. No communication tools can work on our boats.
Right. Allow us to stop now for a short break, Dr. Beysia's Vangelis, but we will talk a bit further more about the repercussions of the Palestinian cause on Europe today, and also about some domestic Greek problems today, but after the break. إذا فاصل قصير ونعود، لا تذهبوا بعيدا.
في تقرير شهري موجز لمجلس الأمن في الأمم المتحدة، فإن مساعد الأمين العام للشؤون السياسية جيفري فيلتمان أدى تصريحاً في 24 من حزيران يونيو يقول فيه إن أسطول الحرية لن يساعد على معالجة الوضع الصعب في غزة. بيسياس فانجيليس المهندس اليوناني وأحد منظمي أساطيل الحرية إلى غزة، إلى أي مدى يعتقد أن مبادرة كهذه قد تساعد فعلياً الفلسطينيين في غزة وفي أماكن أخرى من فلسطين المحتلة؟
We believe that it helps. We believe that because you are working on the media. We need strong messages. We need to break the siege also at the communication level, not only to break the siege in Gaza. There is a blockade in the information, essentially in our countries.
But there is something that today, the threats to world peace because of the Israeli occupation of the Palestinian land have been put on the back burner due to the focus on ISIS, on the refugee crisis.
Indeed.
How dangerous is this?
It's very dangerous.
It's as if
It's
on
very
purpose
dangerous.
to sideline
Yes,
it.
yes, it's very dangerous. Unfortunately, the people, they act that way, not only in Europe, because sometimes Europe is paying the bill of big errors, big mistakes they do in their regional policy. I'm talking about the policy in this area where we are. But also what this kind of violence, it's not a violence that we could expect that, because Muslims, Sunni, Shia or whatever, they are not violent people. As you know, I was born in Alexandria, Egypt. I know the Muslims, I know the Arabs.
That's why the Israelis, Dr. Beissiass, are trying to reframe the conflict as a religious war.
Yes.
And instead of what it really is, it's a Palestinian struggle for civil and political rights, right?
Yes, of course. This is the issue. But they try
To sell it.
to sell it in a different way.
True.
And these people that in the larger area, Syria, Iraq, actually, they send the message that there is a sectarian war. This message, combined with what they do in some European countries, put it together, it creates a climate, an atmosphere of fear, and these countries, in France and in other European countries, now also in United States, and this is for the benefit of Israel. This is against Palestine. This is against the cause of all the people in this area.
Even the Europeans, Israel's escalatory moves could derail the efforts to end the bloodshed in Syria and Iraq, increase the terrible human suffering, and drive more waves of desperate refugees to already overburdened countries like the Middle East and Europe and beyond. So don't you think that it's in everyone's interest to find a solution for the Israeli occupation of Palestine?
Absolutely.
Right.
But although I am among the people that who is working on Palestinian issue since tens of years, 40 years now, there is no until now a real initiative coming from the Western countries, from the international bodies that could, of course, Israel will not be maybe happy, but that could solve this problem. And there is a question: why?
Why?
Do they depend on Israel? Because many people think that United States is a superpower. European countries are enough strong. Their economy, at least, is very strong. NATO is a strong power. What's happening there? And also we have questions about regional powers in the area. We said it many times. The Palestinians have to be united, but also the Arabs and the Muslims, they have to be united. Because they suffered and they still suffer from this aggression.
Sure.
Directly or indirectly aggressed.
Right.
So they have to be united.
Yes, allow me to ask you my last question, which is about the politics of Greece and whatever is taking place in Greece and the repercussions of that elsewhere. Jeremy Warner, assistant editor of The Telegraph, tells us an iconic story which somehow encapsulates all the principal crises facing Europe and America. He says, quote, "Greece is a frontline state. As such, it is one of the main portals for migrants into the European Union. Once in, migrants can travel freely thanks to the Schengen throughout much of the EU until they reach the country where they wish to claim asylum or otherwise work illegally. Most European states believe that Greece has badly mishandled its responsibilities on border control, and following refusal to accept wider European help in tackling the crisis, the EU is now threatening Greece with expulsion from the Schengen. Expulsion
Yes.
from the Schengen, expulsion from the Europe. It seems that the Europeans are adamant on trying to get rid of Greece, to alienate it from its geography, its history, its ties.
I think that will never happen. If it happens, they will be wounded. From our side, I want to be frank with you. If it's necessary to say no to the European countries, to the European administration, to some of the European leaders, we have to say it. It will be a major problem for them. These are not words. Our country has the capacity to not only to survive, but to live well. We have to rebuild our economy. We have all the resources, necessary resources. We have to redefine our economic policy, cooperation in the Mediterranean with other countries, also with European countries. We have also our foreign relations, our foreign policy to redefine it. Now the world is not anymore only one pole. Now it becomes multipolar. So we have these possibilities. We have then to invest on that in the long term. And I think that we have strong, very strong allies in Europe. They didn't said their last word. I think those they play now with Greece because they will play tomorrow with Italy or with...
So it's a total disintegration of the European Union.
I think that Europe has his own sickness.
Right.
His own weakness and sickness. I don't think that neither Italians, neither the Spanish people or from Portugal, or also from other countries in
Right.
Balkan area, or, they will not accept that. And the Germans, they will lose from that. So they have to be careful.
So it's a
Other
lose-lose
countries
situation.
also they will lose.
Right.
Yes, for the time being, maybe they didn't understood that they are playing with, we say, we have an expression, playing with fire.
Playing with fire, true.
Yes. One day or another, we did in our history, we said many times in our history, no.
No. Okay.
So they have to take the message.
Thank you very much, Bيسياس Vangelis, Greek architect of the Freedom, or one of the prime organizers of the
Yes,
Freedom
better,
Flotilla.
yes.
You're most welcome always to our show.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome, sir. إذا لقاء جديد في الأسبوع المقبل مع ضيف جديد وقضية جديدة ودائما من الداخل. للمزيد من التواصل بريدنا theinside@الميادين.net وصفحتنا على الفيسبوك من الداخل. من كل فريق عمل من الداخل من كل الميادين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.